Dodgeville boys basketball. This sectional tournament game brought to you by Memorial Hospital of Iowa County.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. March Madness has come to Wisconsin Dells. Tonight we got the Division III boys sectional final between Dodgeville and Cuba City, two arch rivals from SWAL Division I. And we're getting ready here for the national anthem. Cuba City comes into this game with a record of 22-2. Dodgeville is 19-5. They're squaring off for the third time. A nice rendition of the national anthem. And we're getting ready to go here, the sectional final game. The winner goes to the field house. Hello, everybody. I'm Joel Swanson. I'm joined by the head coach at River Valley High School, Paul Swanson. And, Coach, tonight's game, your team faced both these teams twice during the regular season and really know these teams real well. What is the strength of, first of all, Cuba City?
Well, Cuba City runs probably more offensive sets than anybody we see. They're a well-balanced team. They're well-coached. They play very hard, and defense is one of their principal items that Dodgeville will have to get by. They're a very, very good basketball team.
How about on the other hand, Dodgeville? We saw them beat Viroqua last night. Just about played a perfect game. What do they got to do tonight to win the ball game?
I think it's similar to what they did with Viroqua. They've got to control, in this case, keepers instead of McGrath. And, again, that'll be an immense challenge for them. They need to come out, shoot the ball well, and do the same things to get the tempo up that they did last night against Viroqua.
Last night they came out shooting. Last night they scored 22 points in the first quarter and really set the tone for that game. Let's see what happens to start this one. We're going to meet the starting lineups here in a minute. So also a key to this game could be a tempo also. What tempo do both these teams want?
Well, I think right now, if you're Cuba City, they're going to want the game under 60 points. If you're Dodgeville, they might want it in the high 70s or 80s.
Jerry Pettigrew told us before the game that if this game gets in the 80s, he thinks Dodgeville will win it. If it's in the 50s and 60s, he thinks his Cubans will come out on top.
Well, there's a lot to that. I think you see in the games that they've had, Dodgeville won on a 3 up at Dodgeville, and then down at Cuba City, there was a very, very close basketball game that the Cubans won. So they're balanced teams, and whoever gets the tempo, probably going to have the advantage here.
Starting for Cuba City at the power forward position, that's number 4, Brian Beinborn, averages 11 points per game. And for Dodgeville, number 15, Kurt Wire. Starting at guard for Cuba City, number 20. That is Travis Van Atta. He'll play the point guard for the Cubans. And for Dodgeville, number 23, Brett Bourne. At the other guard for Cuba City, Ryan Pettigrew. He's a 6-foot senior, averages 11 points per game. And for Dodgeville, 6'1" senior Brad Bourne, averaging about 18 points per game. Jeremy Leifried, he was an all-conference player in the SWAL, averages about 15 points per game, leads the Cubans in assists on the season. Mark Arrett for Dodgeville, averaging about 15 points per game, another SWAL all-conference performer. And the big man in the middle for Cuba City is Ben Keepers, 15 points per game, 13 rebounds per game. He'll dominate that middle. And for Dodgeville, the freshman, number 51, Tom Westhoff. Going through the road here to the sectional final. Cuba City beat Evansville, then they beat Broadhead, and then last night they beat Mount Horeb to get in here. For Dodgeville, they knocked off Viroqua by 20 last night in a pretty impressive performance. They also beat Iowa Grant in the regional semifinal, Mineral Point in the regional, and Lancaster in the regional championship game.
Dodgeville's handled the teams in the tournament a little better than they did in the regular season. You know, the Iowa Grant and the Mineral Point games were overtime, and they split with Lancaster on the season, came back with a very impressive win over the Arrows. So
they have really turned it on here in the tournament. This is the third game between these two teams. Dodgeville won the first game, 66-64, and a three-pointer at the buzzer by Mark Arrett. Cuba City bounced back. They won in their home court, 65-60. So we're getting ready to jump center. Ben Keepers and Mark Arrett. Cuba City controls the tip.
And just like last night, Mark Arrett draws the big man in the middle.
So Cuba City will be patient, try to work the ball inside. Leifried, and he travels. So a good defense by Dodgeville to start the game.
Cuba City starting out here in his zone.
Arrett's three is off. Rebound by Bourne, out of bounds. That'll stay with Dodgeville. So as we saw last night, Brad Bourne on the boards again. He did a great job rebounding last night against Viroqua.
Yes, he did. Excellent position in that basketball game.
And Dodgeville will throw the ball away, an over and back violation. Not too many turnovers for the Dodgers last night. They did a pretty good job taking care of the ball.
Yes, they did. Only time was they had a little spurt late in the game on the turnovers. Right now, it might be a little surprising that Cuba City's come out in the zone instead of their typical man-to-man.
Both teams are probably going to be a little nervous here to start the game. A packed house here at Wisconsin Dells for the sectional championship. Feinborn inside. Oh, he took that ball hard to the hole, and he's fouled. That is on Brad Bourne of Dodgeville. And Feinborn goes to the line.
Feinborn's a big, strong, physical player and has given everybody in this conference problems on the offensive board for several years now.
He was an all-conference player last year. And he puts Cuba City on the board. 1-0, 7:09 left to go, first quarter. And the second one is also good. Are you a little surprised, Coach, Cuba City come out in the zone here against Dodgeville?
I think very much so. You know, they need to move the ball against it very quickly and, look for their very good outside shooting.
Arrett's three is off. Not quite the start they had last night against Viroqua for Dodgeville. That could be a tough matchup. Brad Bourne against Feinborn down low.
Very much so, because Feinborn's so physical.
Feinborn on a turnaround inside, and he puts Cuba City up 4-0. Inside Arrett, turnaround miss, rebound Ben Keepers.
The Keepers just went up over everybody to get that one.
He is a good jumper. Leifried on the other end off the Keepers. Jumper by Leifried and missed. Keepers had a hand on it, knocked out to Westhoff. Wire for three. That's off the back iron. Rebound by Liedfried. He'll push it. Van Natta looked at the shot, won't take it. He will not shoot much for Cuba City.
No, he doesn't. You know, he does an excellent job handling the ball, and boy, he has just been a tenacious defensive player for him.
Cuba City swinging the ball, trying to get the ball inside. Beinborn again. Good! Brian Beinborn has the first 6 of the game. Cuba City 6, Dodgeville nothing. 5:13 to go, first quarter. Bradborn inside, and he traveled. Kind of a tough start here for Dodgeville, not quite what we saw last night.
Oh, very much so. You know, they haven't gotten into the flow yet. I still think, you know, they're adjusting to a defensive change that Cuba City hasn't shown an awful lot of this year.
Cuba City coming out of the zone, maybe not quite what Dodgeville thought they would. Ryan Pettigrew, 3, rimming out. And a rebound by Kurt Wire. Ryan Pettigrew is a shooter. He'll put up a lot of shots tonight.
Yes, he is, and he's a streak shooter. And, you know, if he hits one, you got to really get out on him.
And he tips the ball away. Out of bounds at Cuba City. That time, Ryan Pettigrew on the defensive end stripped the ball from Bourne. .4:35 to go, first quarter, 6-0. Cuba City leads. This is Keepers. Can't ring it. Rebound Pettigrew. He'll back it back out. And they'll reset the offense. Liedfried down to Keepers. Nice look. Missed it. Ben back up. Scores. Ben Keepers on the second shot. Puts it in. Cuba City 8. Dodgeville nothing. All right, got Lane inside. He's fouled. He's hacked. Really the first penetration that Dodgeville has gotten tonight.
Yes, it is. You know, it's on the other end. Cuba City's been using dribble penetration against Dodgeville right now, and I think Dodgeville needs to get back into that. You know, in the game last night, the dribble penetration created a lot of the offensive maneuvers for them.
Usually they like to dribble and kick it out to the 3, and that's where they get a lot of their looks from the 3-point shot.
Right. They just need to get things settled down, because right here you're looking at an 8-point deficit, and they can erase that very quickly with their offensive powers.
Mark Art missed the free throw. Looks like Dodgeville coming out a little tight tonight, a little tentative.
Yeah, you know, they're a little surprising, but this is a big game. You got a lot of people in here, and, you know, they'll get into the flow of the game.
The gymnasium, Wisconsin Dells, is packed. So Mark Art puts Dodgeville on the board. 4 minutes to go, first quarter, 8-1 Cuba City. Liedfried off the Keepers. He'll take it down the lane. Missed the finger roll. Pretty nice move by Ben Keepers.
Very nice. One of the things is Cuba City's making a very obvious effort to put the ball inside to Keepers and Beinborn.
Mark Orrid on the other end for Dodgeville. Knocks one down. And that brings Dodgeville back within 5. Liedfried, pull up Jay. Ring it. Jeremy Liedfried. What a jump shot by Liedfried. Bourne right in his face. Back comes Dodgeville. Bradborn, yes! The foul and the basket by Bradborn. We saw that last night. One team scores, they're right back at you on the other end.
They put the ball in bounds. They ran the floor very well, and Cuba City can't afford not to have everybody back defensively.
So Bradborn, who pretty much dominated that game last night, will go to the line. And it's good. So Cuba City leads 10-6. Keepers baseline missed it. Rebound Westhoff. And a foul on Ben Keepers. Not a real good decision by Ben Keepers that time.
Now, they still put the ball inside, and that's where they're going. And that's a foul that just shouldn't have been committed in that situation.
Especially 90 feet away from the basket, you really don't want to commit a foul right there.
That's right. You know, now you have one of your key players with 2 fouls, 5.5 minutes, almost 6 minutes into the game, and that's something you don't need right now.
Dennis McWilliams, number 42, coming on for Cuba City. He's a pretty good player off the bench, McWilliams is.
Dennis McWilliams would be starting for the numerous teams in the conference right now, you know, and he's an excellent basketball player.
So now Cuba City a little smaller out there. Their tallest player 6'2" now instead of 6'5".
It's a much better matchup for Dodgeville at this point.
Westoff trying to drive, baseline cut off by Beinborn. Almost threw it away. Brad Bourne, good! So Bourd's got 5 points, and Dodgeville within 2. Leadfried can't answer. Rebound Brett Bourne. Brett Bourne for 3. Oh, looked good, came off. Over the rebound, put back, good! We're tied at 10.
Excellent offensive rebound. Mark Arwitt moved and everybody else stood still.
2:15 to go. First quarter, 10-10 tie. Morris steals it from Pettigrew. Off the wire, and we're gonna have a carry on Kurt Wire. I think the pass kind of surprised him that time. I think he thought Art was going to take it all the way in.
Yeah, in that situation, you wonder. I don't know if there's any control of the basketball on the pass. Now you take a look, everybody's low for Cuba City, and in a lot of situations, that's where Jeremy Leadfried likes to penetrate. You have an illegal screen called on Ryan Pettigrew right here. He's got to stay still, and he's bringing his elbows out.
Yeah, it looked like he pushed that time on the screen, so the foul goes on Pettigrew. That's his first. And Dodgeville has erased that 8-0 lead here early in the first quarter.
Now they've gotten into the flow of the game now.
This is Brett Bourne, ring it for 3. Brett Bourne puts Dodgeville up 13-10. And we're going to have a foul on Dodgeville's Kurt Wire. It's quite obvious, Coach. Cuba City's not the same team with Ben Keepers on the bench.
Well, it takes a real dimension away from them. It makes them look more of a perimeter team. And you notice they've got Westoff, a much taller player, on Pettigrew, and this may keep a situation where the outside shot isn't as easy for him to get right now. You know, it's a very good maneuver by Coach Tank.
Ryan Pettigrew will go to the bench. Coming on, number 34, Mike Helbing. Or excuse me, that's number 34, Josh Krieger in the lineup.
He's come in very quietly and scored a lot of points this year, and he's proven to be a very good three-point shooter.
McWilliams down low, scores. What a move by Dennis McWilliams inside.
He's like having a sixth starter.
Sure is. He can really play the game. Bourne 3. It's off. Rebound by Leadfried.
Last 2 times, Cuba City's been back to the zone.
And Jeremy Leadfried pulls up and knocks down a J. Cuba City goes back in front, 14-13. Bourne, Brett Bourne, 3-pointer. Dodgeville goes ahead 16-14. 45 seconds to go first quarter.
If they stay in that zone, they're going to have to come out and cover those guys.
Leadfried all the way. What a move. Wouldn't go. Tipped around. Dodgeville basketball. Dodgeville got a couple subs coming on. Number 33, Kate Rule, and number 25 is Marmerstone. .30 seconds left, first quarter. Dodgeville might be holding for one shot.
Right now, they're going to spread them out just a little bit here.
We saw this last night from Dodgeville at the end of the first quarter. They also held for one shot. Bourne almost stripped by Van Anna. Tate Rule for 3. Oh, missed it. Rebound. Krieger, and that's the end of the first quarter. The score at the end of the first quarter, Dodgeville 16, Cuba City 14. This sectional tournament game is brought to you by Memorial Hospital of Iowa County, Mid-America Bank of Dodgeville, Spring Green Cablevision, the Dodgeville Chronicle, Land's End, State Farm Insurance Agent Woody Erickson, Dave Baker Chevrolet Buick Geo, The Sweat Shop, Lulaw Peterson House Funeral Home, Dodger Bowl, Helada Ford Mercury, Dick's Supermarket, Anchor Bank of Dodgeville, Corner Drugstore, Thymes Supper Club, M&I Bank Southwest, and Dodgeville IGA. Well, a 16 16-14, Dodgeville leads. Cuba City got out to the early start tonight, 8-0, but Dodgeville's come right back to erase that.
Yes, they have. Dodgeville was at the 3-minute mark, was still down 6-8 points. They didn't score the first 3.5 minutes of the game, and it looked like they settled down and started to get into a little bit of their flow and the rhythm. Ran the floor well and got a layup on a break immediately after a Cuba City basket, and everybody seemed to relax just after that one play, and they've shot the ball well now.
The big key in the second quarter will Ben Keepers pick up his third foul?
Well, it's got to be. They have to have him in the game for a majority of this, the time for Cuba City, and so he's got to, he can't afford a foul down here 84 feet away from their own basket.
So Dodgeville gets the ball on the alternate possession here to start the second quarter. They got a 16-14 lead.
And Cuba City back in the zone.
Are at three. Good! Barker for three. Dodgeville 19, Cuba City 14. Tipped away by Art, and he saves it. Nice defense.
Again, an excellent job by Mark Arowitz. Same situation he had last night, in defending those post players.
That time tipped it away from Beinborn. And Dodgeville controls. Oh, nice pass, but Brad Bourne couldn't finish it off. Looked like he was a little surprised by that pass from his brother.
I think it was set because he was looking at that shot, and then he came around there.
Keepers inside. Really, can Dodgeville stop him tonight?
Well, the most you can do is like with McGrath. You've got to contain him. You were not going to stop him. You need to contain him.
6:57 to go, second quarter. This is Brett Bourne, three off the back of the rim. Out to Bradbourne, spinning in, missed the shot. And Beinborn on the rebound. Here comes Cuba City. McWilliams spinning into the goal. He scores. Nice move by Dennis McWilliams. He's got 4 off the bench. Bradbourne and a foul. Oh, he stepped on the baseline.
Stepped on the baseline going through there.
Good defense by Cuba City. Forced him to the baseline. 6:32 to go, first quarter. Dodgeville 19, Cuba City 18.
Cuba City again looking to post up Beinborn, and they're going to screen their big kids inside.
They really have 3 inside players on the floor. McWilliams, Beinborn, and Keepers now.
Yes, they do.
Beinborn inside, wouldn't go. Rebound tipped out by Art to Bourne. Now down to Brett Bourne.
They're in their one defense. They're back into their man.
And Art off the glass scores for Dodgeville. He's having a big game so far.
Yes, excellent night so far from Mark Arowitz.
Art's got 10 points already here in the first half. 5:50 to go in the first half. 21-18 Dodgeville. Ryan Pettigrew missed it. Rebound by Brett Bourne. Out to Wire. Wire all the way. We got a block on Beinborn.
Dodgeville really ran the floor well there. Beinborn didn't get all the way down to the block to seal that off that time. Cuba City wants a timeout. I think Coach Pettigrew is going to talk about the fact you've got to recover all the way back to the basket.
5:35 to go before halftime. Dodgeville 21, Cuba City 18. This sectional tournament game is brought to you by Memorial Hospital of Iowa County, Mid-America Bank of Dodgeville, Spring Green Cablevision, the Dodgeville Chronicle, Land's End, State Farm Insurance Agent Woody Erickson, Dave Baker Chevrolet Buick Teal, The Sweatshop, Ulua Peterson Hauk Funeral Home, Dodger Bowl, Halata Ford Mercury, Dick's Supermarket, Anchor Bank of Dodgeville, Corner Drugstore, Fine Supper Club, M&I Bank Southwest, and the Dodgeville IGA. Well, Dodgeville again tonight looks like they're using their quickness as the big advantage right now.
Well, I think their quickness is, in several instances, negated a little bit of Cuba City size inside. Is that Cuba City has scored down here, but Dodgeville's been down there 3 to 4 times before Cuba City has been set up on their defense, and that's given Dodgeville a distinct advantage. They've drawn 2 fouls, and they've gotten a layup off of that so far.
Looks like the man tonight has been Mark Arrett. He's been on fire here in the first half. He's got 10 points already.
Right, and for Cuba City, Beinborn and Keepers, but their 2 inside players, both have 2 fouls at this point in the game.
So that could spell disaster here for Cuba City in the first half. Chad Olson's checked in for Dodgeville. He's number 45. Brett Bourne got the lane, missed it. Tipped around, and Leafrey tipped it into the Dodgeville basket.
I guess it goes to Brett Bourne. He's the closest to it.
Tough break for Cuba City there. 23-18 Dodgeville. Leifried on the other end missed. Knocked around, and it'll go to Brett Bourne. All right, we'll lose it out of bounds. Trying to do a little too much out there right now.
Well, I think he used a hesitation dribble, and, he had a little advantage. Just got in the way of his feet.
So a tough break for Cuba City there a moment ago. Leifried tips it in his own basket. Nice pass to Beinborn. He puts her home. Brian Beinborn. Looked like they went to double-team keepers that time, and Beinborn was wide open.
It was just a miscommunication on that.
Brett Bourne working on McWilliams, and it'll be an over and back. Looked like a pretty good call. I don't think the Cuba City player touched on that play.
It's really hard to tell with all, the hands flying in there. Right now, you may be in a situation where you want to utilize your speed on the pass in the cutting situation.
4:32 to go, second quarter. 23-20, Dodgeville in the lead. Then keepers inside, missed it. Rebound, knocked around. Oh, it's got it.
Now Cuba City back to their man-to-man.
Olson in trouble, needs some help, and he gets it from Brett Bourne. Mark Arrett. That's off. Rebound by Brett Bourne. Takes it back out to Westhoff. Westhoff inside. That's his first basket of the game for Tom Westhoff. And we're going to have a foul on number 45, Chad Olson. A little too aggressive.
Yeah, in those cases, you want to get a hand in the passing lane. You put it out there, just happen to get a little arm with it.
I think that's really one of the first time Tom Westhoff has gotten the ball there tonight.
Yeah, they've done a nice job on him so far, and I think he's just patient enough that he'll let the game come to him instead of forcing it. Another nice double team.
Leifried misses the jumper. Pulled down by Brett Bourne. All right, inside on Pettigrew. And it's nice strip by Jeremy Leifried.
Same thing. They came, Cuba City came and double teamed the inside that time.
Ryan Pettigrew, three. Missed it. Rebound, Chad Olson.
And right there, they missed keepers on a opening up to the ball right there.
Brad Bourne driving, scoring for Dodgeville. Dodgeville 27, Cuba City 20. 3 minutes to go, second quarter. Keepers inside.
He traveled on that. He used a slide. He slid both feet when trying to gain his balance after the pass came in.
Good job with a double team again by Dodgeville.
Very good.
So Kurt Wire comes back in for Dodgeville, replacing Chad Olson. Olson did a good job off the bench.
Yes, he did, and that's what they're going to need. They're going to need to get a few minutes off the floor for their primary players and, keep their legs fresh. They had a tough game last night, even though the score might not show as much. It was a tough game.
And a blocking foul on Dennis McWilliams as Brett Bourne was driving to the basket.
Both these teams use the dribble penetration quite a bit, and therefore, are going to create some foul situations. Right now, Dodgeville's done a really nice job. They only have, 3 fouls, and we've got 2.5 minutes to go in the first half.
Cuba City's got 16 fouls, so one more. Dodgeville goes to the bonus. Brad Bourne to the inside, out to Westhoff. Three's a little off. Rebound by Travis Van Otta. Leifried down to keepers. Nice pass by Jeremy Leifried. You can see right there why he leads his team in assists.
Right, he drew the double team and then, got the assist.
All right for three. Missed it. Rebound Bourne. Blocked by keepers. It's going to go out of bounds off of Brad Bourne. That, I think, was the first block that Ben Keepers has gotten tonight.
Yeah, You know, they've negated that a little. They've ball faked very well. They've moved the ball.
I think they've been able to pull him outside with Mark Arwitt, too, and they've been able to drive to the basket a little more.
Right.
Nice rebound by Kurt Wire.
And keepers did a nice job not picking that third foul up there.
Swinging around to Brett Bourne, 3. That's off. And it goes over the top of the basket. It'll be Cuba City ball. 1:23 to go, second quarter. 27-22. Dodgeville leads Cuba City.
Okay, we'll see what kind of set Cuba City runs this time.
Van Otta penetrating. And we got a foul. Looks like it might be Kurt Wire again. Only the team 4th foul on Dodgeville, so Cuba City not even close to the bonus now. That's Wire's 2nd foul. He got in a little foul trouble last night also.
Yes, he did. He picked them up in little groups.
And a kicking violation on Dodgeville. 1:08 to go, second quarter, 27-22. Dodgeville leads. Ben Keepers inside scores. He's having a big first half for Cuba City. .50 seconds left of the half. Westhoff all the way, and he couldn't find the layup.
Just couldn't finish it.
Nice drive, though, by the freshman. Liebfried out to Van Otta. Trying to go to Beinborn, and he slipped out of bounds to Dodgeville.
Still seems pretty obvious that, you know, in many instances, Cuba City is using a dribble penetration and looking for Beinborn and Keepers to get the ball down in deep.
33 seconds to go here before halftime. Chad Olson back on for Dodgeville, along with Tate Rule, as they're mopping up the floor here on the Wisconsin Dells floor. A packed house tonight for the sectional final here in Division III boys tournament action. Looks like the floor is ready to go now, and they're going to put this one back in play. 33 seconds. Let's see if Dodgeville will look for that final shot like they did in the first quarter.
Most likely they're going to go for one shot in this kind of situation.
Down to 15 seconds now. Now it's down to 10. This is Brett Bourne with the ball. Over to Olson. 3. Missed. Rebound knocked around. Rules got it. Desperation, that's off, and that's the half. At halftime, the score is Dodgeville 27 and Cuba City 24.
Dodgeville boys basketball. This sectional tournament game brought to you by Memorial Hospital of Iowa County, Mid-America Bank.
Is Dodgeville 27, Cuba City 24. Let's send it over to Coach Swanson, who's got the totals for the first half.
Well, in that first half, you know, we had a very balanced situation. Both teams having a few runs. Brett Bourne ended up with 8 points in the first half. Brad Bourne 7. Mark Arwitt, that carried Dodgeville in the early parts of this half, had 10. And Tom Westhoff ended up with 2 points, 4 of the Dodgers scoring in that half. Likewise, 4 of the Cubans carried the scoring, with Brian Beinborn getting 8 points, 6 of those in the first quarter. And Jeremy Liebfried ending up with 4 points. Ben Keepers having 8. And between Beinborn and Keepers having 16 of their points as their inside players. Dennis McWilliams came off the bench and did a fine job getting 4 points. Gives them 3 really nice-looking inside players. And that's been, I'm sure, a concern for Coach Tank, and they've really done a pretty nice job on them when you consider the pace of this game right now. And Dodgeville needs to come out, maybe get a third quarter spurt like they did up at Onalaska last night.
Now, how about the tempo? Who's got the tempo advantage right now?
Well, right now, I think in some instances Cuba City does, because they're making them take a lot of time per possession, and sometimes Dodgeville because they've been running the ball up and down the floor. Right now, the score probably doesn't indicate the number of shots that have been taken and as fast as the pace of the game is.
That is true. 27-24, Dodgeville leads Cuba City as we're getting ready to start the second half. Really, the strengths really panned out. Cuba City's strength inside, that's what happened in the first half. Also, Dodgeville's strength, their speed and quickness, and that's what they really dominated in this game.
Right, and I'm sure in both locker rooms at halftime they've gone over how to negate each of those for each team.
So we are ready to start the sectional championship game. The winner will be playing in Madison on Thursday morning.
Quick turnover, and this is the kind of game that Dodgeville would like to get into.
Westhoff rejected by keepers. Brad Bourne. That's a little off. Rebound tipped around. Liebfried's got it, and he's on the break for Cuba City. Oh, my, what a move by Jeremy Liebfried. Cuts the lead to one. Wire. Blocked by keepers. Oh, my, did he get up on that one.
That's two in a row that he's gone after and gotten both of them.
Now, could Dodgeville get a little intimidated by that if he keeps blocking those shots?
Well, one thing I don't think they will be intimidated, because Dodgeville is one of those teams that, if they miss a shot, they're going to keep shooting. I think if they miss a drive, they're going to keep shooting.
That's kind of been the mentality that's carried Dodgeville as far as they've gotten this year.
Right, I think they have great confidence in what they can do, and if he blocks a couple, he's going to block a couple, but he may pick up a few fouls while the game goes on.
The official moving the fans back. This place is just packed tonight. They got fans standing everywhere just to get in the gym here.
Oh, it's incredible, because you see a lot of people stretching. Some people have been sitting in here for probably 3 hours right now.
And standing outside the door waiting to get in for another couple hours.
Right, you could have had a picnic out there.
Brett Bourne inside. Scores for Dodgeville. 7:15 to go, third quarter. 29-26 Dodgeville. Ryan Pettigrew missed the three. Beinborn taps it out to Westhoff. Brett Bourne baseline, and we got to reach and foul on Liebfried.
And right there you see that's Dodgeville's quickness, and when they can go out, they've taken advantage of it. As soon as each time Cuba City's appeared to pick up a foul on the break, they've planted their feet, and the Dodgeville kids have done a nice job hesitating and then going right through them, and they've reached on a few of them.
Wire drives baseline out to Brad Bourne. This is Brad Bourne. Up, they got the roll. 31-26, Dodgeville.
The old shooter's roll they get in there.
He's got the nice backspin rotation. That's why he's getting that roll in there. Beinborn. And a foul on the floor.
Yeah, he's real tough to handle. You notice what Cuba City's doing is they're putting their perimeter player inside of their post player, swinging him off and using him as a screen, and then opening up real quick. And that's real tough to defend right there and come around and three-quarter it.
It's not so much how tall Brian Beinborn is, he's just built.
He's just big.
He is big. So a turnover for Cuba City.
And he uses his size very well on the floor.
This is Brett Bourne missing. Rebound Wire. Out to Mark Art. And they'll reset it. And nice job on defense by Van Atta with the steal. He'll take it down all the way. Missed the shot.
Excellent job defensively. Got in and challenged that shot.
And Westhoff on the other end scores for Dodgeville. The Dodgeville crowd is going bananas. Liebfried on the other end. Can't silence him. Keepers will. Ben Keepers on the offensive rebound. All right, looked at the three, won't take it. And we got a foul on Beinborn. Another instant where the head fake gets him up and they draw the foul.
Yeah, and it's just, it's a touch foul out front, but those are the kinds of things that have been emphasized that are going to be called. And these officials have been extremely consistent tonight.
That's the third foul on Brian Beinborn. It'd be tough to lose him for Cuba City. Wire, nice ball fake, pulls up, 15-footer, that's off. Rebound tipped around to Liebfried. Keepers inside. We got a reach-in foul. If that's on Kurt Wire, that could be his third, but it's not.
That's on Mark Arwitz.
It's going to be on Arwitz. That's just Arwitz's first foul, so no foul trouble there. Really, he's done a good job not fouling Ben Keepers inside.
Yeah, he has. When Keepers has gotten the ball inside, he's just not contested it. There's no sense fouling him when he gets himself 3 feet from the basket.
Well, travel that time on Ben Keepers. 5:10 to go, third quarter. Backdoor, Bradbourne scores!
Excellent. You notice the real quick ball fake to set him up. They tried to get in the lanes, and he ran the backdoor cut on him. And Keepers couldn't do anything about it because of the foul situation.
What a pass by Brett Bourne. And McWilliams throws it away for Cuba City. I think the crowd's becoming a factor in this game for Dodgeville. They're really feeding off the momentum of that crowd.
Well, they haven't sat down, though, for a couple times down the floor.
Bradbourne had it knocked away by McWilliams.
Nice job getting it back.
Dodgeville leads 35-28. Westhoff the way. Good! Tom Westhoff with the play to the hole, and he scores. Dodgeville up by 9. Beinborn inside. Counts the basket.
That's a critical call right there.
It's hard to see from this angle, but the official said that Art slid under him. So the basket counts, 4:20 to go, third quarter, 37-30. That's one of the momentum calls right there.
That's not so much just the basket right there. You're looking at a situation with a foul situation for Beinborn. You're looking at the fact Cuba City had the score. A good stop inside for Dodgeville really gets that momentum going again, and they come down here and get a good offensive situation out of it.
Now Cuba City with a chance to get that momentum back. Beinborn's free throw is good. Straight in for Brian Beinborn. Cuba City coming out with a little press here. Wire baseline, good! Kurt Wire knocks it home.
That's his first basket. He's stuck with it. He is stuck with that now.
A confident shooter.
See Mark Arwitz doing a nice job inside again.
Ben Keepers inside, shot is off. Rebound, tipped out of bounds by McWilliams. Dodgeville leads 39-31. 3:50 to go, third quarter. Nice ball fake by Art again.
Almost looked like he drew that foul again.
Art pulls up, good off the board. Right over the top of Ben Keepers.
Keepers maybe have to get his hands up and challenge that just a little. You know, he's only got 2 fouls, and we're still, you know, you're looking at the game time situation. You may have to be a little more aggressive in there.
Dodgeville by 10. Leadfried, that's a tough shot by Jeremy Leadfried. And
this is a time where Cuba City goes to Leadfried a lot. He is a clutch player.
Dodgeville forcing Cuba City in some tough shots now. Westhoff inside. Tough shot, he got it! Tom Westhoff! Cuba City wants a timeout. 2:55 to go, third quarter. It's Dodgeville 43, Cuba City 31.
And you take a look in this third quarter, Westhoff has 6, and Brad Bourne has 4. Everybody else has 2. Everybody's taking part in the scoring. More people are touching the ball on each offensive possession. And if Westhoff and Wire score, now Cuba City can't just concentrate on the other 3 kids on the floor, and they're spreading that offense out a little better, distributing the ball and getting scoring from everybody on the floor.
Also on the other end, Dodgeville is shutting Cuba City down. They're forcing Jeremy Leafrey to take some tough shots.
Yeah, yes, they are. You know, they've stepped up that interior defense. You don't see that lob pass going in quite as easy to keepers in this third quarter. Mark Arlett is coming up doing a better job of three-quarter fronting him, even though he did a good job in the first half. He stepped it up. I think the intensity Dodgeville-wise has just risen up a little bit here in the third quarter, and they've come up with a nice run against Cuba City.
Talked about the lob and the keepers. When they do get into them, the backside help is filling in and taking away that lob.
Right, they've doubled everything that's gone inside.
So 43-31, Dodgeville leads, 2:55 to go third quarter, and Cuba City's going to need some baskets here in a hurry.
Yes, they are, and I think you're going to see a situation here now where you're screening for Cuba City. They may try to rub Pettigrew off out to the three. You may see them sit everybody low and let Liebfried do some penetration and kicking.
And there is Pettigrew for three. Oh, and he got it. Big job by Ryan Pettigrew.
Very big shot. They've needed that. That's his first basket of the night.
Write that one down. A strip by Beinborn. Here comes Liebfried, lost the ball, but right to keepers. Knocked around. Pettigrew's got it.
Westhoff's done a nice job on Pettigrew, not letting him get too much room.
Pettigrew driving to the basket, pulls up on a 15-foot J and drills it. And he's come up big. The last 5 points for Ryan Pettigrew. Marquardt on the other end. The senior leadership, he knocks it down. Looks like Art's a little too quick for Beinborn out there.
Yeah, and also Beinborn has that foul situation. I believe he's got 3 right now, and he doesn't want to pick up that 4th foul here, late in the third quarter.
And there's Ben Keepers inside, catches the lob, turns around, it's short, and a jump ball.
The arrow goes to Cuba City right now in this situation.
1:35 to go third quarter. It's Dodgeville 45, Cuba City 36. Cuba City went to the state tournament the last time, 1991. Dodgeville was there in 1993, so two of the more powerful programs in this conference squaring off here in the sectional final.
Now we'll see where Cuba City goes if they try to set Pettigrew up again.
And coming into the game for Cuba City, number 34, that's Josh Krieger for the Cubans.
Let me get Beinborn out of there. I don't think Coach Pettigrew wants him to get that 4th foul in the last minute 35, have him fresh for the 4th quarter. There's setting up the 3-point shot.
And it's blocked by Tom Westhoff. Bradborn to the goal. Good! What a move by Bradborn. Dodgeville up by 11.
Dodgeville got that side cleared out, and keepers couldn't get over quick enough.
This is Liebfried. And it looks like we got a blocking foul on Kurt Wire. Looks like he slid underneath Jeremy Liebfried that time.
He may have been a half a step slow on that, and that's probably the toughest call you still have in a basketball situation.
So Jeremy Liebfried, he's an excellent free throw shooter. 1:09 to go here in the third quarter. 47-36, Dodgeville leading. Coming in for the Dodgers will be Tate Rule. He wears number 33, replacing Kurt Wire, who's really played well here tonight. Wire goes to the bench with 3 fouls. Liebfried's free throw is good. That's the 7th point on the evening for Jeremy Liebfried. And he knocks home the second one. So a 9-point game, 1:05 to go third quarter.
We'll see what the Dodgers do with the possession this time, if they're going to look to get a quick shot and get the ball back, or look for that last shot.
All right for 3. Oh, halfway down, came out. Van Otto rebounds. Pettigrew. That one a little short. And we got a foul. Looks like on Travis Van Atta for Cuba City. Maybe not the shot the Cubans wanted that time down the floor. Pettigrew's putting up a 25-footer.
It looks like he had to rush it just a little bit on that, and he needs, you could see not quite as much arc on the ball that time.
Westhoff's doing a good job on him for Dodgeville.
Yes, he is. Looks like the Dodgers are going for one shot here at the end of the quarter. Try to get this to a double-digit lead.
Cuba City coming out, kind of a trap. They're going to trap in the corners, looks like.
Jump switching all of these screens that are being set.
And Brett Bourne driving the lane is fouled.
That's one of the things, yeah, they do. If that many defensive players come up, you almost have to take the ball to the basket just to relieve the pressure in those situations.
Fouls on Josh Krieger of Cuba City. Going to the line, Brett Bourne for Dodgeville. 47-38, Dodgeville leads. 18 seconds to go, third quarter. And Brett Bourne knocks her home. Rebound Josh Krieger for Cuba City. A 10-point lead for Dodgeville.
You see how they're backing off Van Atta just a little bit in this situation.
3 seconds. Leadfried's got a shoot. He will miss. And that's the end of the third quarter. The score, Dodgeville 48, Cuba City 38. This sectional tournament game is brought to you by Memorial Hospital of Iowa County, Mid-America Bank of Dodgeville, Spring Green Cablevision, the Dodgeville Chronicle, Land's End, State Farm Insurance Agent Woody Erickson, Dave Baker, Chevrolet Buick Geo, The Sweatshop, Rudolph Peterson House Funeral Home, Dodger Bowl, Colada Ford Mercury, Dick's Supermarket, Anchor Bank of Dodgeville, Corner Drugstore, Fine Supper Club, M&I Bank Southwest, and the Dodgeville IGA.
Well, this situation right now, probably the first half, the first quarter and the second quarter were Cuba City tempos. The third quarter jumps up to a Dodgeville tempo. Dodgeville got 21 points in the third quarter to 14 for Cuba City. And more of a situation that the Dodgers like to get into. The pace of the ball is even more up and down the floor. And they got lots of people involved in the scoring, you know. And if they can keep that tempo up in the fourth quarter, they can be extremely successful in this game.
The balance in that quarter for Dodgeville was amazing almost.
Yes, it was. We had 6 for Brad Bourne and 6 for Westhoff, 4 for Arwitt, 3 for Brett Bourne and 2 for Wire. So, they had everybody score and did a nice job.
Everybody contributing for Dodgeville, which has been the case all year long. So the final quarter, the winner goes to the field house. So playing the state championships. This is Mark Artie, misses, rebound. Dodgeville, kick it out. Westhoff. And they got a foul from behind on Ryan Pettigrew. That's the second foul on Ryan Pettigrew. That's the 15th foul in Cuba City. Dodgeville going to be a little patient here with a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter. This is Brad Bourne. A short rebound. Brett Bourne. No. And keeper's rebound.
They had good possession, good patience on that possession that time, even though they didn't score.
So Cuba City down by 10. They're going to have to get a big quarter. Vineborn missing. Westhoff looking to drive, and he threw it away. So there will be Cuba City ball. 6:57 to go for the ball game. 48-38 Dodgeville. Leadfried, jumper, good. Ringing for Jeremy Leadfried. 48-40.
This is vintage Cuba City this year. Leadfried on the penetration.
He has been almost unstoppable all year long, averaging 15 points per game. Mark Art looks at the three. Wire pulls up 15-footer, rimming around, no good. Bourne on the follow. Brad Bourne.
That's a critical basket. Cuba City needed a stop right there.
Leadfried, three, no good. A lot of players falling to the floor, and it's dug out of there. A jump ball.
The Cuba City possession.
Good hustle by both teams, diving on the floor after the loose ball. 6:13 to go, fourth quarter, 50-40, Dodgeville leads. Coming into the game for Cuba City is Dennis McWilliams, number 42. He's going to replace Travis Van Atta. So that puts another inside player on the floor for Cuba City.
You know, McWilliams is just an excellent all-around player also. You know, he does so many things for them, and he is an outstanding defensive player. You know, it'll be interesting to see who Coach Pettigrew puts him on.
They're mopping up the floor for a few players who were on the court there for a while. So a 10-point lead for Dodgeville. Last night we saw Dodgeville had a 10-point lead in the third quarter, and they could extend that to 15 or 17. If they can do that now, they can put this game away. Feinborn, nice drive, going all the way in. Missed it, got his own rebound. And boy, Brian Feinborn does that well. When he misses a shot, goes back up and gets that board.
Yes, he does, and he has such a quick release. You know, he takes up space, uses his body extremely well, and he releases the ball quick on the first shot, and he's very quick off the floor to get it again. I mean, he does very, very quick, short shot, and has just done an excellent job for Cuba City.
Coming on the floor is Chad Olsen. He'll place Kurt Wire at Wire's fourth foul. And Feinborn's free throw is no good. The second one is good. 12 points for Brian Feinborn on the night now. 50-41. Brett Bourne! And a foul on Dennis McWilliams.
Now, it looked like a good block, but keeper was up above the rim. I think it's a good block in that situation. And for Cuba City, it's unfortunate they ended up with a foul down below.
McWilliams got the push down below. That's pretty impressive by Ben Keepers, though. Boy, can he get up in the air.
I think it's very impressive.
Brett Bourne knocking down the first free throw.
This is where you really have the critical free throw situation.
And the second one is good. Looks like Leapfree got away with a travel. And he'll take the jumper. Rattled out. Ben Keepers rebounds and the foul. So Ben Keepers will have a chance for a three-point play. .5:41 to go here in the fourth quarter. 52-43 Dodgeville leads. Keepers with a chance to cut it down to 8. And he does. 13 points for Ben Keepers now. 8-point game. Big possession for Dodgeville. And a foul on Dennis McWilliams of Cuba City. And Dodgeville's in the bonus, so that's going to put, it's like Brett Bourne on the line.
But both of these teams are in the bonus. First time they came down, all the Dodgeville fans thought there was foul. There may have been one. There was one bump, and the second bump they called.
My mistake, it's Kurt Wire going to the line for Dodgeville. And he knocks it down. 3 points now in the game for Wire. Second one hits back iron, coming out. 53-44. Knocked away. Underneath, looks like that one was headed for Ben Keepers for a dunk.
It's a play that Cuba City's run against everybody where they start keepers out high and then they back screen and try to lob it. And I think everybody's seen it. You notice how the Dodgeville defensive players stayed down in the lane on that.
Now they're
trying to set the three up again.
They're trying to swing Ryan Pettigrew on a double screen, and Wire takes it away.
Excellent defensive play.
Brad Bourne a little shake and bake, and he gets fouled.
Leadfried got going one way and had to reach back the other way to prevent the layup.
That's on Jeremy Leadfried. Luckily, that's not on Brian Beinborn for Cuba City. That's Leadfried's second foul. Coming back into the game, Travis Van Atta for the Cubans. And at the line for Dodgeville, Brad Bourne. And he misses the first of two. Chance to get the lead back to double digits here for Brad Bourne. That's off the back iron also. So Dodgeville's missed 3 free throws in a row now. And on the other end, Leadfried throws it away. Good defense by Dodgeville. Westhoff got the lead. They got a foul on Ben Keepers.
Yeah, anytime you come from behind, you're not in good shape defensively.
So Tom Westhoff heads to the line for Dodgeville. 53-44. Dodgeville in the lead. 4:44 to go in the ball game. And in and out for Westhoff. Dodgeville's going to have to make some of these free throws here down the stretch. And Westhoff knocks down the second. 54-44, Dodgeville leads. 4:40 to go in the ball game. Pettigrew, 3. Oh, a big one, Ryan Pettigrew. 54-47.
He worked for that one.
He sure did. And now it's coming down to crunch time. 4:20 to go. Art Lane's bump. It won't count on the floor. It's going to be on Beinborn. Looks like Mark Arrett's pretty confident that he can take Brian Beinborn to the hole right now.
I think he's, in the first step, he's a little bit quicker. And if he can get his shoulder by him, he's going to put him in a foul situation real quick.
And he missed. Rebound Wire. Dodgeville's now missed 5 straight free throws. Could hurt him down the stretch. And they're going to take a timeout. 3:55 to go in the ball game. It's Dodgeville 54 and Cuba City 47.
Right now, the Dodgeville has, missed 5 out of 9 free throws here in the fourth quarter, and, it could have set themselves up in a little more comfortable situation. They still have a 7-point lead, and, they need to relax and, get the ball in. Historically, they've been an excellent free throw shooting team, so, this is surprising everybody here.
Those are pressure free throws now down the stretch, especially in the sectional final game with the winner going on to the state tournament. Down the stretch now, Dodgeville's defense has really stepped up, though.
Yes, they have. And I think you're gonna see that. Everybody looks at that clock and you figure whatever's on the clock, that's what's left in the season for somebody. You've got nothing. You've got no fouls to save. You've got nothing to do but go out there and give it 100%.
And Dodgeville has done that tonight. They lead 54-47. 3:55 to go in the ball game, and they've got the ball. Brian Beinborn just picked up his 4th foul for Cuba City, but he is still on the floor.
No sense saving anybody. Arrow also is in Dodgeville's favor right now. Cuba City looks like it's going to double up when they get an opportunity.
Nice backdoor. Brad Bourne scores.
Now you see Van Atta back up on point, which means they're probably going to run Leadfried off of some screens. There he is, off a double screen.
And there he goes. He's fouled by Brett Bourne. Pretty good move by Jeremy Leadfried going to the hole.
He's been real tough at the free throw line. It's a situation where you don't want to put him there.
especially late in games, Leadfried has really knocked down the free throws. Tonight, 2 for 2 from the line for Jeremy Leadfried, and he's got 10 points. And it's good. Now, Coach, could we look for a little press out of Cuba City, maybe?
In all likelihood, you're going to see some full-court pressure. There it is. And you've got keepers on the ball, which puts a large player on the ball, covering a lot of passing lanes. Dodgeville doing a very, very smart thing right there and calling the timeout. Coach Pettigrew is asking for the 5-second call, but they got the timeout first.
And a nice call there by Brett Bourne calling the timeout. We saw that last night. Baroque came out and pressed. Dodgeville got in trouble, and they called that timeout.
Now that's where having some players on the floor that are 3-year varsity starters pays off. With the trap there, he's not even going to see it if Coach Tank's calling for a timeout. And you know there's constant reminders in the huddle how many timeouts are left. Use one if you get in this kind of situation, and they did a nice job there.
Also a thing to remember, Brett Bourne, Brad Bourne, and Mark Art have already been to the state tournament with the 1993 team, so that experience really pays off about right now.
Oh, it's incredible how much that means. You know, you get in these gyms that are packed like this, and it's not the first time you've faced this situation. They faced it in Madison. They faced it in the sectional finals up here for the 3rd year in a row.
The 3rd year in a row in the sectional championship for Dodgeville, a step away from the state tournament. 3:23 to go in the ball game. 56-49, Dodgeville leading. And a foul on Travis Van Otta, trying to steal the ball from Brett Bourne.
It does give you an idea, though. You know, Brett Bourne's extremely quick. Gives you an idea how quick Travis Van Otta is also. He's out there working awfully hard.
He is a quick player out there. So now Dodgeville, who's missed their last 5 free throw attempts, goes to the line. It's Brett Bourne. Rattled around and went down. And that one's going to rattle out. Tipped around. Oh, it's going to go to Cuba City. Close call there that time. Looks like Cuba City running a little bit of a wheel right now.
They're running it that way, and they're trying to bring their 3-point shooters off at least 2 screens.
And Pettigrew misses a free throw. Keepers goes down awfully hard on the floor, and Dodgeville's got it back.
You may look for that backdoor cut again.
Oh, what a save by Brad Bourne, and they throw it away. 2:40 to go in the ball game. It's going to be crunch time now, and we got a block on Mark Art. Another tough call there by the official.
If not interesting.
A judgment call that time, and that's going to be a block on Art. That's his 3rd. So Leadfried goes to the line where he's 4 for 4 for the evening. 57-49, 2:39 to go here in the 4th quarter. You're watching the sectional championship game in Division III. This is the Wisconsin Dells sectional between Cuba City and Dodgeville.
It looks like with the foul situation, you could get a lot of free throws shot in here, you know, and with this, Dodgeville hasn't taken quite the advantage yet. Cuba City has done a little bit better there, so Leadfried's just not a player you want to put on the line. If you're Dodgeville, you don't want Cuba City having opportunity to score while the clock is off.
And Leadfried knocks it down, 57-50. Cuba City slowly but surely reaping back in this one, and it's good for Leadfried. And again, the press knocked out of bounds by Leadfried. Looks like Dodgeville looks a little rattled by this press by Cuba City.
Now, they had a little trouble with the press last night, and now they're going to need to get through this one.
And here comes Westhoff. This is Brad Bourne. Oh, it almost went. Foul on Feinborn.
And that should be his 5th.
And that's going to do it for Brian Feinborn. Dennis McWilliams is going to come on for Cuba City.
That's where that quickness, taking the ball to the hole, really helps.
And the 6'1 senior hoping it's not his last game. Brad Bourne goes to the line for Dodgeville. He's 1 out of 3 from the line tonight. And it's good. Second one is dead center. Dodgeville by 8. Lead free 3. Oh, in and out. That would have been a big one.
Yeah, rolled around.
2 minutes to go.
Dodgeville has a lot of pressure outside. Don't be surprised to see that backdoor cut again.
Almost slapped away by Van Atta. Nice pass. Bradford scores! 145.
Back to a 10-point lead.
And this is Ben Keeper scores. Good job by Art not fouling him.
Exactly.
This is Kurt Wire. They'll pull it back out. They jump all over him. No call. And we got a foul.
And at this point in the game, Cuba City doesn't have much choice but to foul probably early and often to keep that clock stopped and hoping they miss free throws.
Jeremy Leadfried picks up the foul. That's his 3rd for Cuba City. Dodgeville's been in the bonus for a long time, and going to line is Brett Bourne. Four out of 7 from the line for Brett Bourne. Coming on for Cuba City is Josh Krieger. He'll replace Dennis McWilliams. So for Dodgeville, I got the 5 starters out there. Art, Wire, Bourne, and Westhoff. For Cuba City, it's Van Atta, Keepers, Pettigrew, Leadfried, and Krieger.
Probably what Cuba City's going to try to do, you have Leadfried and Pettigrew on the floor. Krieger gives them a 3rd three-point shooter out on the floor.
Free throw is up. Good.
Officials having a hard time keeping the floor dry. These kids are working so hard.
That Bourne's 2nd is good also. 63-53 Dodgeville. Take it away, and they come up with it, more courage. And down on the other end, wide open is Bourne, off the backboard, Westhoff, and there'll be a foul.
And a foul on Van Atta before the basket.
And the roar is deafening in here by the Dodgeville crowd.
Everybody at Cuba City is kind of stunned by the situation right now.
1:07 to go in the ball game. Dodgeville by 10. Tom Westhoff is going to the line. Westhoff's had a big second half. He's knocked in 7 big ones for Dodgeville. Free throw good. And Dodgeville wants a timeout. 1:07 to go here in the 4th quarter. 64-53 as you get a look at the Dodgeville cheering section. And what a big one it is tonight. Their team is 1:07 away from a trip to the field house in Madison.
Dodgeville's done a better job handling the pressure here in the last 2 minutes. They've gotten that pass that's gotten by that front line of the Cuba City press. And with Cuba City having 3 of their players very close to the baseline, once you're beyond those 3, you have a distinct advantage against the rest of the people on the floor. What
an atmosphere here in Wisconsin Dells. 1:07 to go. Tom Westhoff will go to the line for his second free throw. Westhoff tonight, 2 out of 3 from the line. And it's good. And Keepers falls in, a miss by Pettigrew. They're down to 50 seconds. Cuba City's got a foul now, and wire breaking, and he missed it. 45 seconds to go. A 10-point lead. Cuba City for 3. That's Krieger missed. Rebound tipped around. Keepers trying to save, out of bounds. It'll be with Cuba City. Or it's going to be Dodgeville ball. Excuse me.
A lot of good ball faking, and you know they can stay out of situations that are going to hurt them. Coach Tank is telling Brett Bourne, go to the ball, and create a passing lane for Westhoff to use.
Josh Krieger fouls Tom Westhoff. Westhoff 3 of 4 from the line tonight, and could ice this sectional championship game here for Dodgeville. And he's got it, man. Nerve of steel at the line for Tom Westhoff.
He pitched his last 4 free throws in a row.
Only a freshman, ladies and gentlemen, and a darn good one, and he makes the second one. 67-55. Time's going to run out here in Cuba City. Lead free 3. It's off. Rebound. Keepers, and he'll put it back in. But only 15 seconds to go. And a foul.
The last 2 times that Cuba City's missed the 3, Keepers just gone up over everybody, taking the ball and put it back in. So he hasn't given up on the game for Cuba City, but Dodgeville obviously with a commanding lead right now.
Well, there for Dodgeville, they just don't want to foul right now.
No, they want the clock to run.
Let that clock run out. They'll give them the 2 points. 15 seconds to go. Dodgeville leads 67-57. Brett Bourne misses off the front iron. And Krieger for 3, missed. Rebound Van Atta. And this is going to do it. 5 seconds to go. And Dodgeville, you're going to the field house on Thursday morning. The picture says it all right there. Dodgeville is going back to state for the second time in 3 years. The final score here from Wisconsin Dells, it's Dodgeville 67, Cuba City 57. And what a victory for Dodgeville as they take the rubber match between these two, beating the Cubans for the second time in the season. So Dodgeville will move on to the state tournament in Madison. They will play Thursday morning. And Dodgeville, they are the sectional champions in the Wisconsin Dells sectional.
And, you know, this is a well-deserved win. You know, Dodgeville has come through an extremely tough avenue to get here. They've beat two excellent basketball teams back-to-back right now in Viroqua and Cuba City, and this is a team that could do some things in Madison that, in the middle of February when they had a little bit of a streak where they probably weren't playing as well as they'd like, they didn't feel the same. They've come back and worked hard. Give a lot of credit to Chuck Tank and his staff, and, they've brought these kids up to a point where they're playing maybe the best basketball of the year right now.
I think their defense has really stepped up. They've been able to shut down bigger teams inside.
Oh, yes. With 2 nights in a row, the big kids have gotten their points but have not been able to dominate the game.
That is true, and Dodgeville using their speed, quickness, and shooting, and that's going to take them into Madison for the state tournament. And Coach Swanson, you got the totals for the ball game.
Dodgeville had very good balance tonight. Kurt Wire had 3 points, but played some very, very good defense. Brett Bourne had 16 points. Brad Bourne, 19 points. Mark Arwood, 14 points. Tom Westhoff had 13, 11 of those in the second half, and he was 5 out of 6 from the line in the fourth quarter and just did an excellent job. For the Cubans, Brian Beinborn had 12. Ryan Pettigrew had 8. He had all 8 of those in the second half and had most of them when Cuba City made a run at the Dodgers. Lee Freed had 13, Keepers 19, and Dennis McWilliams 4.
So Dodgeville wins 67-57, and they're going to hand out individual medals here for the sectional. So the celebration is on in Dodgeville. Their team moves back into the state tournament as the Cuba City Cubans are getting congratulated on a great year. Take this time to congratulate Cuba City on a great year, and also the Barnaville girls team who won the Division IV state title this morning. They won the title in overtime, and a big win for the Barnaville girls program.
You hate to see it, but you get to this time of the year and there's only 4 teams who are going to end up winning their last game of the year. Cuba City is an outstanding basketball program, an outstanding basketball team this year. They've got some young players. You're still going to see Jeremy Leifried and Ben Keepers back next year, and they'll form a good nucleus for any basketball team in the Swell 1 division. Likewise, you see with Dodgeville, you see 3 outstanding seniors graduating, but you still have Kurt Wire and Tom Westhoff and Chad Olson coming back. And again, there's a good nucleus there.
Also with the Dodgeville basketball program, see a lot of kids working on their game during the summer, and that helps out this time of year.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. Anything that they do, the team caps to go together. It builds basketball skills, and it builds team unity and camaraderie that, you may not have if you just play it during the season.
So Dodgeville in celebration right now. They're handing out the individual awards to the Dodgeville Dodgers. In a few moments, they're going to be handed the sectional plaque for the second time in 3 years. And there it is, the sectional championship for Dodgeville. Well, Coach, quite a 2-game run here for Dodgeville. They knock out the #1 team in the state Friday night and knock out #3 on Saturday night. Unbelievable run.
Yes, it is. And you think all along, if you've seen Dodgeville play all year, they've been that type of caliber team. They had a little bit of a stumble in February, probably knocked them out of the rankings, but we found out one thing here this weekend. Rankings don't mean anything. They're just on paper right now.
So congratulations to the Dodgeville Dodgers heading back to the state tournament. Also congratulations to Cuba City on a great season. They finished out at 22-3. So that's going to wrap her up here from the Wisconsin Dells sectional. I'm Joel Swanson, and saying goodbye for Paul Swanson. and saying goodbye from Wisconsin Dells.
Dodgeville boys basketball.